New shaman cards, showdown in the Badlands. Let's see what we got here. So far, this set is looking kind of poo. Hopefully this brings it up to a not poo level. Let's find out. Amphibious Elixir, 2 mana nature spell, restore 5 health, discover a spell. There was a card for Priest called Renew, which was 1 mana, restore 3 health, discover a spell. That card was in every Priest deck, I'm pretty sure, for the rest of its time until it rotated. 2 mana is not 1 mana though. Also, I just realized that this guy's actually feeding a frog with whatever the hell this is, an elixir. That's pretty funny. Is this good? I mean, Control Shaman likes this. Highlander Shaman probably likes this. And I think they're printing a Highlander card for Shaman this set, so I can get behind it. It's a good card. Like, I mean, restoring 5 health for 2 mana is probably the baseline. It's probably a little weak, to be honest, but because you get a spell, I could definitely get behind this. This is probably a pretty good card. So for Shaman, doing pretty good. All right, Cactus Cutter. What the hell? He's actually cutting a cactus. Best friend of Spinestail Drake. Anyone get that reference? Leave a comment down below because I'm stupid and I don't understand. 2 mana 2/2 battlecry draw spell. If you cast it this turn, gain +1/+2 and taunt. I'm trying to think if, like, would I play a card that is a 2 mana 2/2 battlecry draw spell? That's also a Murloc, I should also add. Probably, yeah. I think I would play a 2 mana 2/2 draw spell. Drawing a card for 2 mana 1/1 doesn't see any play anymore. I think maybe to tutor a spell. I mean, it's a little slow. It's a little slow. It's probably like just good enough that I do think a card like this would actually see play. Fits in the Murloc package. If there's like a Murloc support card, that's also really good. And because we've already seen Dehydrate, if you do pick the Dehydrate, you the Dehydrate goes to 1 mana, and then this becomes a 2 mana, or sorry, it becomes a 2 mana 3/4 with taunt and a Murloc. That's pretty sick. Yeah, okay. It's also good in Highlander. I gotta consider Highlander for every one of these cards because I'm pretty sure there's a Highlander card for this. Trusty Companion. What the hell? 2 mana spell. So this is a spell for the Murloc. Give a minion +2/+3 if a minion has a type. If it has a minion type, sorry, draw 1 of that type. You play this on 4 mana, you get a Murloc, and you get this, and you get +2/+3, and you draw 1. Probably pretty good. Even Shaman in Wild probably really likes this card because of like the totem synergy. Another pretty good card, to be honest. It draws a card, it cycles, it's a buff. Good in Highlander. All right, Shaman's got some pretty good cards here, if I'm going to be honest. Okay, so we see Dehydrate before. 3 mana lifesteal, deal 4 damage to a minion. Quick draw is if it enters your hand this turn. It costs 1, and that is a pretty good card. I'm still a very, very big fan of the quick draw mechanic. This one I'm not a huge fan of just because mana cheating is just good. So this card is just objectively better every single time it enters your hand. Sometimes, but I do like the way that the quick draw mechanic has been done in this expansion. I'm kind of a big fan of it. What do you guys think? You guys like the quick draw mechanic? I think it's pretty good. It's like it's really thematic, right? It's a really thematic expansion keyword. And I can get behind it. This card's gonna be good. I mean, I think 1 mana to deal 4 damage to a minion and get lifesteal is insane. If you're spending 3 mana on this, it's fine. But like, you could discover this and it costs 1. Like, this card's probably gonna see play. Do you put it in your deck? I don't know. But this card at some point will be a pretty good option to discover or to generate it. I think it's completely fine. All right, Minecart Cruiser. Why are you driving Minecart Cruiser? Where is your bounty, fortune, and fame? Again, I'm stupid. Let me know in a comment. 3 mana 4/5 rush to overload 2 battlecry. If you played an elemental last turn, don't overload. I've never done that before. Don't overload. I can't remember. This is also an elemental. So we did see that there are a couple elemental cards that they were pushing already. This card is, I mean, a 3 mana 4/5 with rush is absolutely absurd. It's a pretty good card. It's a really good stat line. If you did play an elemental, there's also quite a bit of good elementals in the standard pool at the moment. So this is not a horrible card. If the rest of the elemental package is there for Shaman, this could be a really, really good archetype. So I'm hoping. I already see some of these images below that look like they're elementals. So let's see. Dr. Holiday. If anything can heal the Badlands, it's the power of frogs. What the hell? Oh, this is a Highlander card. 5 mana 4/5. Legendary. Battlecry. If your deck has no duplicates, equip the Staff of the 9 Frogs. Okay. 5 mana 2/9 Staff of the 9 Frogs. After your hero, look, hold on, before I even say the text, look at the art of this card. That's hilarious. After your hero attacks, summon a 1/1 frog with taunt. Each frog is bigger than the last. So I'm going to assume it goes 1/1 2/2 3/3 4/4 5/5 6/6 7/7 8/8 9/9. I am going to imagine. Man, this is a prime weapon tech card. Jesus Christ. Hitting 9 durability is insane. This isn't a 5-mana 4/5 for this effect. Hold on. I mean, the weapon's good. So it's almost like 5-mana 4/5. Give your hero +2 attack. Then you summon a 1/1 frog with taunt. It's not bad. And then that scales even further. So like this is a card that in a long game, this is very good. This is not really a card you necessarily want to top deck. It's not like, see, the problem with these Highlander cards I'm noticing is if you get the card like on the mana cost that it costs, like that turn, it's really strong. Like if you have it preemptively, it's really good too. But like if you play this on turn 10, like I don't know, like I'm gonna be like whatever about it. The game goes long enough. I mean, that it's a lot of value over time. But like this doesn't make me want to play Highlander Shaman. And maybe that's very intentional. I have a feeling that the Reno card is gonna be the biggest deal for a neutral pool. Because like I don't know. It's cool. Like it's hilarious that this is a real card. But I'm not like sitting here like so excited to play a card like this. Let's see what the rest of the cards are, then we'll come back. Living Prairie 5. We saw the card already, but 5-mana 5/4 Battlecry. If you play an elemental last turn, summon 2/3/3 cows with rush. It's elemental. This is what the cows look like. They look hilarious. Again, I said this before when we saw this. If the elemental package is good, this card is insane because it's so much stats and it immediately impacts the board, and it's another elemental for your chain. If elemental shaman's bad, it's a big shame. So far from what we've seen though, like this is a good card. And because you can use Trusted Companion to get another elemental, it probably fits the chain. And again, there's more elementals in the neutral pool. It's looking like a real deck, if I'm going to be honest. So Living Prairie is probably going to be a pretty good card. In Arena, by the way, this card is probably game winning, like in itself, I would imagine. And it's a common, so you might see it pretty often. Actually, no, they changed the buckets, didn't they? Yeah. All right. Giant Tumbleweed, 7 mana, deals 6 damage to all minions. Holy moly, summon a 6/6 Tumbleweed? Yeah, this card's insane, isn't it? Earthquake was a 7 mana card that dealt 5 damage first and then 2 damage after, I believe. This is just deal 6 and then summon a 6/6 Tumbleweed. That's a really good card. 7 mana to deal 6 to all minions. I mean, if you compare it to other cards, I guess it's a little slower, but it's pretty good. It's also really good to top deck. I mean, this is probably a good card. I love the artwork too. It's so, what the hell? A giant Tumbleweed. I guess it makes sense because like Shaman's like the nature class other than Druid. Okay. I mean, I really like it. I think it's funny. Scar the Catastrophe. Okay, so this is probably the elemental payoff. Wait, what's the flavor text for this? Scar's second biggest hobby after laying waste to the Badlands is bowling. Ah, see, look at that. Hilarious. All right, 7 minutes, 7/7. Battle card, deal 1 damage to all enemies. Improved by each turn in a row you've played an elemental. So I'm not sure about this. Maybe somebody in the comments can leave it down below. But like, let's say I play 4 elementals in a row, like in a turn in a row. Is that a sentence? Let's say I play 4 elementals 1 turn after another, right? So this would be Battlecry, deal 4 damage to all enemies. If that chain is gone, like let's say I miss a turn, does it keep it at 4 or does it reset? I guess because it's improved, it would keep it. I just want to clarify just so I'm not, you know, just thinking the card's better than it actually is. Because if it changes, it's atrocious, if I'm going to be honest. 7 minutes, 7/7 deal 1 damage is horrible. I mean, it's not the worst thing. It's also an elemental. What is this thing? Just a giant tornado, I guess so. He's a catastrophe. I mean, it's probably good. I mean, again, all these cards really come down to, is the elemental package good enough? And this is a card, generally speaking, you're going to be like pretty happy to play on curve, I think. I'm just a little worried that like this card might be just absolutely useless. But dude, like if you go elemental, 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 that's 8. So 7, sorry. This is a lot of damage. Like that's a 7 mana 7/7 deal 7. I could have done that in my head. I don't know why I counted like a 5-year-old, but here I am. It's a lot of damage. Potentially really good, potentially awful. It really depends on where this elemental shaman deck fits. And that's pretty much it. After rotation, I'm a little worried for a card like this, but it's probably for the best because that play pattern is going to get really old really quickly. And it's going to feel like you get high rolled every single time. Last, I think this is the last card, right? Yeah. Walking Mountain. The hills are alive with the sound of yeehaw. 9 mana, 4/16. Damn. Rush, Lifesteal, Mega Wind Fury, and Overload 2. Oh my god. Okay, so this attacks 4 times and has 4 attack. So you are getting what, 16 life if there's enough minions on board to attack into, if you can attack into all 4 of them. But you know what the really scary thing about this card is is just the lethal pressure that you put up, because if your opponent doesn't answer the card immediately, you probably just win. And before I continue here, I just want to double check something. Is what's his name? I can't, is it Crazed Alchemist? Is Crazed Alchemist in the game? He's in standard. Dude, okay. So there is a actual real chance here that you play this card, your opponent can't answer the life total because it's so big. That's a big guy. And then they play the Crazed Alchemist and you're dead. That seems like an actual real win condition, especially like if the Highlander Shaman deck is real, maybe. What the hell? That's actually insane. I mean, overall, I'm definitely not that sad about the Shaman pool. I think it's actually pretty decent. Most of the cards actually seem like they're playable. How many elementals are in standard? That's the real question. Let me just double check this real fast. Let me filter by cart minion type, elemental, not for shaman. Yeah, so there's enough. There's definitely, I mean, it's gonna show me ones from all of them, but there's definitely enough to make an elemental shaman deck work. This is in standard. Oh yeah, it came in festival. All right, I have a feeling shaman's gonna be pretty good. Honestly, shaman and death knight actually look pretty good. Priest, I don't know what the hell happened. Let me know what you guys think. I'll see you guys in the next one. Thanks for watching this more Rarran channel.